Joining us now in the studio is Aloy Ejimako, one of Nnamdi Kanu's counsel. Thank you so much for joining us on the news tonight.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Well, you just listened to the Minister of Police Affairs, Mohammed Dingyadi, after the National Security Council meeting today. They seem to be backing the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice stance that, one, your client was discharged and not acquitted. Mm-hmm. How do you respond? And what's the difference between a discharge and an acquittal?
Well, first of all, we have to have factual clarity about what the essence of the ruling yesterday. I believe the Attorney General came out too quickly to interpret, and he ended up misinterpreting the tenor and the reach and the true meaning of the judgment. And he ended up playing what I would term semantic games. There's really no difference between discharge and acquitted. It's a very thin line. If somebody is discharged, he really doesn't have to be acquitted. It's a word of art when lawyers say or judges say you're discharged and acquitted. So they really don't have to say the acquitted part. If you don't have any charges standing against you, what are you doing in detention? It's very simple. You don't have to be a lawyer to figure that out. So I think what is playing out here is an extension or escalation of the same executive rascality, recklessness, lawlessness that led to the extraordinary rendition in the first place. Otherwise, a well-ordered society, a responsible government is supposed to respond within the framework of the law. If the Attorney General is talking about taking the matter to appeal to the Supreme Court of Nigeria, I probably won't be sitting here because it's a non-issue. The Attorney General has the right to say that. The federal government has the right of appeal. But they are not talking about that. They are talking about their right to disobey court order.
Is that really what they're saying? Or they are saying that the pre-rendition, there were charges against Nnamdi Kanu,
yes,
including the fact that he's a flight risk because he jumped bail, having been given or granted bail. Are you saying that he doesn't have any more questions to answer?
No, see, listen, this notion of Nnamdi Kanu jumping bail is straining the boundaries of defamation of character. He didn't jump bail. Okay. I personally secured a judgment on January 19th this year from High Court of Umuahia that obliterated that notion completely, because the event that compelled his departure from Nigeria was too compelling. It was not volitional. So he had to depart Nigeria in search of a safe haven and to save his life. And the ruling of the High Court of Abia State made it very clear, crystal clear, that his fundamental rights were violated by the attack that was levied at his home in September 2017. So with that sort of judgment, the idea or notion that he jumped bail should be discussed at all. Now, talking about pre-rendition offenses, before you can try anybody for any offense, whether pre-rendition or post-rendition, you have to create the legal environment for transferring a fugitive from one country to the other. And the proper legal environment is called extradition. The absence of extradition has created a permanent barrier to the prosecution of Nnamdi Kanu, and there is no way around it. The federal government committed egregious violation of international laws and treaties and laws of Kenya and laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in engaging in that conduct that he did on June 19 last year. So there is no more question of pre-rendition. And the pre-rendition offenses you are talking about have been voluntarily withdrawn by the federal government. They were actually for treason, conspiracy to commit treason, defamation of the character of the president, and 4, illegal importation of radio equipment. 3 of those were voluntarily dropped by the federal government. They left in place only the illegal importation and padded it up with 15 counts of terrorism offenses. And the court dismissed some of them and left the other one. Now, the appeal court has dismissed or struck out the rest of them. So, if you don't have any charges pending against somebody and holding him in jail, you're either persecuting him or you engage in an impermissible conduct that the Supreme Court calls holding charge, and it's unconstitutional.
So help us understand this, because you said, you know, it's not compulsory that the court uses the word acquittal. But is it not true that if a trial has not taken place, then you cannot talk about an acquittal? In this case, would you say a trial has taken place?
No.
If a trial hasn't taken place, then there can't be an acquittal. So he hasn't been acquitted.
No, no trial has to take place for you to be discharged of criminal charges.
To be acquitted.
To be discharged.
No, he has been discharged.
The
argument is over him being acquitted or not.
I already told you at the beginning.
And that's what I'm saying, to clarify that as a lawyer, would you say a trial has taken place? If no,
it hasn't.
Do you not say that an acquittal is possible only when a trial takes place?
No, it's not correct. You are importing into what the Attorney General said what he didn't say. He didn't say that a trial has taken place. Of course, it's a standard fact known to everybody that no trial took place. It's also a fact in law that you can be discharged and acquitted without trial taking place. Attorney General knows that. He's just playing games with the public, mind of the public, and it's unfortunate. I don't think this ought to happen. But if you leave the legalities aside, this is the sort of thing that stokes political tensions in society. And it can trigger a nasty diplomatic brawl with Britain. You forget Nnamdi Kanu has a second nationality of United Kingdom. And this kind of gives you a deja vu back to 1984 when Nigeria attempted to rendition Omar Diko, and it led to countervailing consequences. 4 persons were convicted and jailed in UK. The Nigerian aircraft that was going to be used in the interdiction and rendition was itself interdicted in Britain and seized. And Britain broke up diplomatic relations with Nigeria for 2 years, and so on and so forth. And here we are again, several decades later, in a democracy, engaging in conduct that exposes Nigeria to diplomatic sanctions.
Right.
It shouldn't stand.
Okay, so now, what exactly does this discharge of Nnamdi Kanu by the appeal court, what does it really mean?
What it means
for the whole agitation for the Southeast?
Okay.
Does it mean that Nnamdi Kanu, in the event that he's actually granted bail or allowed, you know, to go,
this is more than
will
bail.
it put an end to agitations for Biafra?
This is more than bail. Bail can come with conditions. If you're granted bail, you are still a ward of court. You may be required to report to police station, report to court, confined in a certain geographical area, but this is a discharge. A discharge means you're as free as any one of us sitting here. No hindrance of any sort should be placed on you, including your ability to travel within the territory of Nigeria and outside of it. So there is no condition at all. And what it portends for the for the agitation for Biafra is what you're asking about.
Right.
Well, let's come to that. Since when did self-determination become a criminal offense? I don't think the Court of Appeal would have taken the action he took if he considered it for one moment that Nnamdi Kanu committed any offense whatsoever, and not of the heinous types that the federal government is accusing him of. Why are we prioritizing punishment, suppression of an enterprise, an activity called self-determination that is protected under the laws of Federal Republic Nigeria? You can check it out. You don't have to take my word for it. Article 20, African Charter on Human and People's Rights, passed by the National Assembly in 1983, protected self-determination for all people. As a government, you can say no, but by all means, you shouldn't punish it. You shouldn't penalize it. Even if it is inconvenient to the government, you should consider it a political opinion, and you should not try to suppress it by means of punishment of some sort.
Right. There are calls for a political solution.
Yeah.
Some Southeast leaders are also saying that, look, if with this ruling or judgment from the appeal court, it will bring back some level of peace to the Southeast. And my question is, what will that political solution look like?
First of all, let me commend everybody that has made a statement tending towards that direction of restoring peace and security in Southeast. That is a very responsible statement to make, and I would call it on the federal government to look seriously into statements like that. So now, talking about political solution, agitation for a separate state is a political question. It's not a legal question. It's not. You can never win sovereignty for a new nation in a court of law, but you can win it across the table of political negotiation. So when someone rises and says, I want out, I want a separate state, he's actually calling you to the table. Because if he can obtain a separate state by the snap of the finger, he doesn't need to talk about it. He'll snap his fingers and the separate state will be thus created. But when somebody says, I want a separate state and I want to get it through the means of referendum, he's actually calling you to the table. So what is preventing the federal government from coming to the table to discuss this political question of separatism or a separate state for Biafra?
And that brings me to my question, because you did earlier say that, you know, if the government continues to hold your client, then it smacks of persecution.
Yes.
What do you think, if you could hazard a guess, what do you think the government is worried about or is concerned about should your client be released? And I also want to ask you, what is the mood of your client, especially after this decision reached by the appeal court yesterday? Did you speak to him?
Yes, I did. I know, not after, not post-judgment, before. I was the only counsel that met with him yesterday. Others, you know, deployed themselves to court. So I was with him till almost 5 p.m. at DSS, waiting to see whether we can get news of the judgment, so I could be the first to give him post-judgment legal advice. But it didn't happen, so he dismissed me. I went home. I'm sure wherever he is now, he's happy. And he's expecting that the government will do the right thing by opening the gates of DSS and permitting him to go home. So, but that is a supposition. Okay? The other part of your question is what I missed.
What do you think is a concern of the government?
Okay, I touched on this issue briefly. It's very concerning and a bit puzzling that the government of the day should prioritize those agitating for self-determination as the #1 enemy of state. They shouldn't be at all, not even #1. The #1 should be terrorism. The government should be asked that question. Why are you prioritizing agitation for a separate state over terrorism? I mean, you're here permitting, okay, we heard that today the National Security Council met over this matter. Is the National Security Council the Supreme Court? Why should the National Security Council consider itself to sit in judgment over the judgment of a properly constituted constitutional court in the land? So these are the things that are more worrisome to me. Why this priority? Why this undue attention? And that is being removed away from the #1 things that are dogging the society. #1 is terrorism. And the other day, you had a jailbreak at Kuje, and National Security Council did meet over it. Tens of Boko Haram people were released into society.
Okay, well, that's...
Well, they did meet over it. I must point
that
out. Oh, they did meet on that and many security issues afterwards.
Well, I stand corrected, but you see, the reason that I probably might have missed it, because this government has shown a proclivity not to take terrorism, fighting terrorism seriously. They have shown an inclination to be targeting people that are agitating for a separate state, and it's very puzzling. I'm as puzzled as you are.
You have made a great point on that already. Now, is the difference, let's go back to the issue of the difference between an acquittal and a discharge. In the case of an acquittal, right, you cannot be recharged. But when discharged, you can be rearraigned. So it's not a closed book yet. That's what it means. So this Nnamdi Kanu case.
Okay, let me give you an example. If I walk out of here, right now, this is a jail, the detention center, I walk out on a discharge. It doesn't give me immunity from further prosecution. But I have to be allowed to walk out first. The court ordered that Nnamdi Kanu has been discharged. You obey the order first before you can bring up any new charges. But when you do that, in the unique circumstances of Nnamdi Kanu, there's a problem. Nnamdi Kanu is in Nigeria through a process that breached the law. So what is the fix? I can't tell you everything. I'm not here to give legal advice to the federal government.
What's your
but
next?
there's a fix.
Right.
One of them is to obey the order first before you talk of bringing up new charges. You have to obey the order by releasing him. If you hold him absent of charges, you have violated the constitution and you have turned the prosecution to persecution.
All right,
and
we'll have to leave it there.
and
Thank
very
you so much. Aloy Ejimakor on Nnamdi Kanu's appeal court, of course, one of Nnamdi Kanu's counsels. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight.
Thank you.
All right, so they say that the value jet pilots were almost used plane take hits our legend, our father, our leader, K1 the Ultimate yesterday. Now, me, I didn't even know how crazy this whole thing was until I see this clip where K1 the Ultimate, they try run away from the plane. Now, when I know how crazy the thing is. Now, in as much as I respect K1 the Ultimate as a leader, as a father, as a pioneer, and a big music legend, the truth needs to be said. The truth needs to be said. To be very honest, if not advanced country we did, therefore detain K1 the Ultimate for putting his own life at risk and putting the life of the people where they inside that plane at risk. How? Imagine as that plane they turn, the fan, that propeller, that plane fan can't blow K1 the Ultimate, or it can't draw K1 the Ultimate, it can't cut him. Or imagine as the woman, the pilot, tried to dodge K1 the Ultimate, she can't run, go hit another plane, then boom, fire. Therefore, putting the lives of those people in that plane at risk. Just imagine. They're supposed to detain K1 the Ultimate. Now, a lot of people don't understand something. You see, flight business is a business of time. They use time to work. The people that schedule their flights, they scheduled it 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, it's time. And they expect to leave by that time. The people that own the airline, they are using time to make their money. Because they have distances and they have locations that they are supposed to go to in a day to make their money to run the airline. So they need time. So K1 the Ultimate standing in front of that plane is obviously stepping on other people's rights. Some people on that plane have a life-changing opportunity that they are scheduled for. Some people might be going somewhere for medical attention. But because K1 stood in the front of the plane, they couldn't meet up with that time. Again, to K1 the Ultimate. What you did yesterday, as a father, now you make know if you talk with your own talk. But as a father, if you cannot abide by the rules of the commercial plane, you should fly a PJ. You should fly a PJ. We all know if you fly with plane, you know. Plane get rules. There are some things you can't take into the plane, like alcohol, even water. Even water, anything where it cause explosion. Or anything where go fit make if explosion happen, the fire go be bigger. You can't take it into the plane. That's why if they come inside with rubber, they'll say no, drop it. If you are coming in with spray, they'll say drop it. Alcohol, drop it. So immediately they say drop it. If you drop them. K1 the Ultimate, if an advanced country, they go detain them. Not just detain them, they'll carry and go mental facility. Go check if they're mentally stable. Because if they are telling you that this thing you want to bring into the plane is going to be a danger to everybody in the plane, and you insisted that you take it in, not just that, you decide to stand in front of the plane, that the plane will not move. It is pride and ego. The people that failed more, now those security, they're supposed to bundle and come out. But I understand it. Nigeria is a country where we say, if person is a celebrity, and if you say the person there above the law, why in advanced country, they use celebrities as example. That's why I say that they arrest some celebrities for America for driving under influence. Even if they hit person or not, they will use it to example to others. But Nigeria, police go see celebrity, you don't want to do anything. They go to help celebrities, they cover their evil deeds. K1 the ultimate. If you cannot abide by the commercial rules, make him book PJ. Even PJ, there are some things you can't take into the PJ. There are some things you can't take into the PJ. Me, I be no even talk, right? But as I can't see this particular video, some people start to post because I hear say aviation don't give K1 the ultimate 6 months ban. Shout out to Festus Keyamo and his people for doing that, because that's the right thing to do. I hear say they give a 6-month ban instead of Nigerians to also put a voice and to create awareness that please always abide by the aeroplane rules. They start to bring videos of K1 the ultimate. When K1 the ultimate, they talk to Tinubu, then they laugh, saying that best way they won't carry, and you want Nigeria to grow. See the video.
All about sister long you. I show. Why must you meeting? Why must you meeting? Oh no. Amisa. Ami akobi won na pe fun mi. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Ọlọ́run ní bí ajẹ́ o.
Àmì ìgbà tí wọ́n wà mẹ́ẹ̀ báwo ni ìyá ṣe máa jẹ mí? Ìwọ president, bàbá mi president, ìyá máa jẹ mí ní Nàìjíríà ilé ìkọ́. Ìṣe Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n mú dání.
Ìyá àlejò kú ọ̀run.
No, ìyá àlejò kú ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ìjọba aṣíwájú náà. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Safe trip back home, sir.
So the fact that he knows President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, does that mean he should put the life of people in danger because of his pride and his ego? He's a father, he's a leader, we love and respect him, but we have to call a spade a spade. And to the people where they ginger, they share all these things, you don't want Nigeria to grow. You don't want Nigeria to grow. They go tell you, now go enter plane. They go tell you, now say, switch off your mobile phone or put it on airplane mode. Some people go still they press their phone. These people are trying to tell you that, oh, there are some signals that your phone go intercept. Maybe if they won't fly. And I know the year. You never abide by those rules. You never. And I want me Nigeria grow. Now make I even call give you like, they want this one, I don't even tell you now. When I they come from Turkey, as we go greet to see me, Galatasaray, the win cup. So coming back from Turkey, something happened. I did for front of the boarding gates. I did wait because me, I like when we say, okay, I did airport, that long queue, I will just sit down. I want to be the last person to just enter the plane and go and sit down. So while we were waiting, some Nigerians come, very dark man, they'll snap picture. Me and my guy Gideon 9 day with the gist. They'll snap picture, they go enter, they'll snap picture, they'll enter. So towards the end, when the queue was now reducing, they say final boarding. That was when 3 Nigerian girls came. When they came over, very dark man, we took pictures. But the queue was still a little bit more. We took pictures. Then they said, oh, we need to go and pee. My friend said, it's final boarding call. You cannot go and pee now. When you get on the plane, you pee. But I looked at the queue. It was still remaining about 10 persons. Then I said, you people, you can go and pee now and quickly come back. Then we'll be the last to enter. So there were 3 girls. 2 of them decided to go and pee. They left their bags and their passports with their sister. While my friend was there, I said, okay, myself, I won't go pee. All of us, they go. The girls go like this. Me, I go like this. As I piss and they come outside, I see the girls for queue for their own women toilet. Then I passed, I came back. When I came back, the queue was now remaining like 2. They've already announced final boarding. Then I told them, I said, okay, you know what? Let's just go to the booths. Do you understand? They start busting, then we'll wait there and let them know that our sisters are coming. Then they say, okay, no problem. We went, boom, you can enter, boom, my friend, you can enter, boom, the sister can enter. Kept on waiting for these girls. They were nowhere to be found. Already, everybody had passed, so just us. We started calling their phone. They were not picking. We begged for 1 minute. Those people said, no problem. We started to call their phone, they know they pick. We called and called and called. We thought of going to go and call them. The people there said, the Oyibo say, you people can't leave. You can't leave, please. Let them come. We waited and they did not come. Finally, we now saw them coming. We just sighted them close to the restroom. We sighted them from afar. Say, oh, they are coming, they are coming. Oh yeah, let's go. The man just said, if you touch the plane, we are going to call the police. Then I started explaining. I said, bro, that I wouldn't have been able to leave because these are Nigerians. I can't leave my people here. That please, she let us in. He said, did I not tell you to enter? I said, yes, but I can't leave my people here. And also their passport is with their sister. So how do we leave them and just go? Said he doesn't care. I was now begging. And I said, if you don't leave there now, we'll call the police. By this time, those girls were now approaching. For you know, I saw the throw us. Boom. Then they came. They said, what's up? Let's go in. We said we missed our flight. They were like, are you guys serious? Stop joking. I said, we missed our flight. The sister said, yes. She's like, oh my God. How? What happened? So we kept on trying to call you. You were not picking. They checked their phone and they saw the missed call. They were like, oh, we are sorry. But you people would have gone. I said, if you had come out here and met your bag on the ground, obviously nobody will steal your bag. If you had met your bag here and you didn't see all of us, how would you feel? Your fellow Nigerians betraying you abroad in a no man's land. We can't leave you. They go, how you will feel? She now said, oh yeah, that's true. Guess what happened? We went back to reschedule again for the next day. Me, because of the flexi booking, I paid $130. They paid over $1,600. My friend paid about $300 and something. The craziest part now was that it was a single entry to Turkey. So we'll not even go back to the airport because they've already stamped us in. We cannot leave the airport. Another one. Before coming to a Nigerian man, we say, oh, it's possible for you guys to leave. Go back to the immigration. We went to the immigration. I called Osimhen. This one happened. I showed them, say, Osimhen, I invite us with Galatasaray. It's Galatasaray. Oh, yeah, Galatasaray. No problem. They check everything. Okay. If not for that Galatasaray invite, maybe we for the day. At the end of the day, we left. When we left the next day. So, Oyibo know the play. If now Oyibo came on the ultimate, they'll carry on. Mental facility and they'll detain them. See, they put the life of others at risk over his pride. But here we are in Nigeria. I beg. Make we always talk to me Nigeria grow. More they leave sentiment aside. Yes, the value jet lady for weight. You understand? But again, flights work by time. Time is their money. Time is money with flight, with airline. She was under pressure. Anyways, shout out to ValueJet because to be very honest, ValueJet they try for Nigeria or no go. ValueJet they try. After, if they say people where they keep to time, Ibon Air, ValueJet they inside. And also shout out to other airlines because all of themselves they try. NG Eagles, Air Peace. Air Peace they try because now only Air Peace they cover a lot of states where no plane fit go. Air Peace they try where. Aero, and she say Aero do 15 years anniversary, I do 16 years anniversary. Aero they try. Which other one are they forget? Shout out to all the airlines in Nigeria. Shout out to all of them. And really they do well. Azman Air, Rano Air, everybody, shout out to all of you. And please, Nigerians, always abide by the rules of the airline. Please, whatever rules that they are giving is so that they can protect the lives of the people on their airline. They don't want your story. Not because of say they just want to do those things. Please, if they say so, this thing is not allowed, don't break it in. Thank you very much and don't play. Nigeria will be great. Don't play. If you play, go and learn and you will learn the hard way. Peace.